Oh, sorry, didn't see there. This is Jecht from JechtSpencer.com, and what I'm going to be doing for you today is a book review, the Comprehensive ENFP Survival Guide by Heidi Pribe. Those of you who are familiar or unfamiliar, the MBTI, Carl Jung, or the Myers-Briggs personality test just is one of those distinct tests that they will give you to really break down your personality, so to speak. And the reason why I use quotation marks here is simply because in this book she says you are not defined by your personality type, but it would be a critical error to not take the essence of what is being told about who you are as a person and not taking in that information and really understanding it. Now, you know what? I'll give it 4 stars simply from a ENFP's tongue-tied perspective. This book really just broke down my critical errors that I've been making in my entire life. And the reason why I say that is simply because there are a lot of behaviors that you do, there's a lot of behaviors that I do that we're not even necessarily aware of. We're all built in a particular way so that we think a certain way, we see things a certain way, we intuitively bring things into us and how we process those things in a certain way. And this really just breaks down all of that. So of the 16 personality types, what is it that makes the ENFPs so distinctive? Number 1, extroverted intuition. Ding! 2, introverted feeling. 3, extroverted thinking. 4, introverted sensing. Is because a lot of times you'll do one of those Myers-Briggs indicator tests online, or maybe you'll go to school and take one, or go apply for that job and end up getting it. Each of those tests in particular, the ones that aren't completely thorough, so to speak, will give you a very robust and grand about how awesome you are, how cool of a person you are. By the way, you're fantastic. And you'll go in there and you'll walk out feeling like, I have the best personality, I'm the coolest man on the planet, this is so fun. And then you'll completely take the critical aspects of your personality and they'll just kind of water them down to maybe like 4 sentences. They're like, sometimes he doesn't complete things, maybe he's a little manipulative, but in a nice way, or you know, he's someone who is just very energetic and maybe it can play to his detriment. There are certain behavioral traits that that we both experience every single day, and there's a lot of dark little nuances that we tend to miss. These are, you know, ENFPs, not all, but most, aren't able to follow up on all of their ideas. We are idea generating machines. We can go through about 500 ideas in a matter of minutes, write them all down, how excited we are to start these new projects, and then we'll begin with absolute fervor and excitement, and then a few hours later we'll be like, not as cool as I thought. Or, even better, you got that diamond in your hand, right? And you want to chip away at that diamond. You start chipping away at that diamond, making it look nice and pretty, right? And then you just kind of like see over and you're like, oh my God, that is the most beautiful ruby I've ever seen. Take that diamond, and it's like, what? Because ENFPs are very, very creative as a whole, but not being able to execute on our vision is a key part of our personality that holds us back. I mean, you're probably thinking to yourself, I mean, that's really not that bad. I mean, everyone is a procrastinator, or they'll end up starting a project and not finishing it. It's not just ENFPs. The thing is that's just the surface level. Deep down, a lot of ENFPs are natural manipulators. And this isn't necessarily something that we do on purpose or we are consciously doing. Simply, ENFPs have this tendency, and particularly in relationships when dating someone, where they'll end up saying something while in the moment they absolutely believe it with their heart of hearts. We are saying what we believe and it is true, and it ends up completely having a massive amount of miscommunication between your partner and yourself. To be completely candid with you, I've left a lot of bad relationships, a lot of destructive relationships, and the reason why they were destructive was not because of the other person, though of course each person plays a part in a relationship. It was because I did it. I naturally can be very, very manipulative. And it's not even necessarily something I'm conscious of as an ENFP. Because when I'm saying something to someone, I actually mean it in that moment. That was just the emotion of the moment, and the emotion was just coming out of me very much freely, unfiltered. I was just being my true, authentic self. Okay, let's say, for example, I'm dating a girl, and I look at her and I say, you are absolutely fantastic. You are the sunshine that I would love to rise to every day. Something very heartfelt, something very nice, something very, very warm and genuine to say to somebody. But in that moment, I might actually be dating 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 women at that point. And what will end up happening is that person will take what I'm saying in that moment and they'll be thinking, oh man, this guy thinks I'm the bee's knees. He thinks that I'm this, super amazing phoenix. I will rise above all these other girls that he's dating because it's very clear that, he's picking me. I'm obviously his first choice. When the reality is what I'm saying is I truly believe it in that moment, but I'm not properly communicating to her that, I would love to see you every morning. And I'm really enjoying this casual thing we're doing right now. And then that way, at least I'm being much more advantageous. I'm being much more truthful. Because when I say I want to see her every morning, it's true. I do want to see her every morning. But what someone might take that as is, oh my God, this guy really, really wants just me, or something equivalent to that path. And the reality is that I'm just not properly communicating what I mean to her. And actually coming through a book that is willing to give you that pure, raw, uninhibited, transparent truth about yourself is fantastic. Because when you go online, they give you that watered down version. And when you're reading a book and they're telling you how much you suck, I mean, it's pretty crazy. And I mean, I'm not saying like all is bad, all is lost, all ENFPs are the devil. No, I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that being able to understand that you have weaknesses and actually pinpointing what those weaknesses are is very, very healthy, not only for your psychology, but for every single social interaction and social friendship that you build, whether it be a deep and profound romantic relationship or simply just a surface manner. This isn't a way to say, oh, I'm suddenly going to be filtered and I'm not going to say anything now because I might confuse people. But what it does mean is that when I do say something, I am so much clearer and precise in what I'm saying to that person. And I mean, not all is woeful. I mean, obviously being an ENFP, we're very sprite, very energetic, very enthusiastic. We inspire people. We're able to champion a cause. ENFPs are strong. Very, very strong and good people. We're not all bad. It's not all about manipulation. It's not all about how many relationships we can leave, aflame. And it's not to say that ENFPs are all evil. We aren't all Darth Vader or this evil tyrant of sorts. But we are someone who is able to profoundly change someone's life simply because of the amount of raw emotion we're able to channel at people. We're able to get people in these heightened states of arousal, these heightened states of titillation, of emotion, of power, of essence, of presence, of aura, if you will. All of these different things we're able to weave into our emotions, into our words, into things we say to you. And the reason why is because of how profoundly we feel things. It is of probably the biggest turmoil in terms of an ENFP's life. This tug of war between extroversion and introversion. There's a lot of good things about ENFPs too. We're very bubbly, very enthusiastic, very strong, very passionate, and we're able to help people through their own turmoils and challenges that they face in their own lives. Understanding that all this power we have behind our emotions and able to actually tailor them into our social interactions. And that's what makes an ENFP so powerful. She also has particular exercises in the book that you can execute to better understand your own psychology and kind of take those weak spots or blind spots that you have per se, cover them up, and how to best handle them when they come into your life. Being an ENFP, we have positives and we have negatives, so to speak. And when we're able to take those negatives, bring them up to our positives, and use them in a constructive way rather than a destructive way, we're able to better learn from ourselves and become better people, better ENFPs, and help the world in ways that we were born to do, born to inspire, born to champion. If you're an ENFP, if you're dating an ENFP, if your boss is an ENFP, if you know what an ENFP is, I highly recommend checking out this book, the ENFP Comprehensive Survival Guide by Heidi Pribe. Books like this, definitely in terms of the MBTI and Myers-Briggs and stuff like that, don't come around every day. I mean, it is honestly a critical part of your own human personality traits that are broken down and kind of given to you in a way that you might not like. And the thing is when an author is so willing to show you your dark side of your personalities, and what was, kind of ironic about this book was just how deep down the rabbit hole she goes of just how bad of a person you can be. I mean, I finished reading the book and I was like, ugh. Better understanding your psychology and understanding that you do have weak points and there are certain aspects of your personality that, could be improved. It's not to say that you need to be this perfect robotic person, an ENFP will never be that. But the fact is that when you're able to better learn about yourself, better you're able to communicate yourself with people, and live a better life, why not? If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to like, subscribe, and or comment. And good luck to you. And good fortune to you, my friend. Short, blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. Take